So before we start talking about money and how it is in this country, and you'll see what I mean, it's pretty crazy. First, I want to say thank you very much to Batong Hotel. This place is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Look at the jacuzzi here, and it's cold. People were asking. No, it's not hot. And the prices are ridiculously reasonable right now. I don't know if it's just because of quarantine or Cambodian pricing. In one of the most expensive areas of Phnom Penh, in downtown, the hotel district, and you can get a room here for a week with free breakfast, 2 1.5-hour massages, the whole thing for about $350 starting price for the rooms that you see up here, going all the way up to their suites, which is only about $550 a week. So North American standard, pretty good.
Pretty good.
But you should keep in mind that this is Cambodia. And you can get one of those glorious condos that we have in the skyline here with a rooftop patio for about $250 a month. Pretty crazy. Now, you're not going to get free breakfast and nobody's giving you massages and cleaning your room every day, but you know, those prices are just phenomenal. But again, Batong did a great job. We really enjoyed our time here. You know, we are trying to go back to budgeting. We have to budget. And so when we go to Siem Reap, we are in a Airbnb. It has a nice pool, but you know, we'll have a kitchen and we can cook and try to find lower cost ways of living because this was never our plan. This was only because Airbnbs are closed because of the lockdown. They don't allow them to be open. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. As it was described to me by all 5, I think about 5 different Airbnb owners, that the neighbors, the police, would not be happy or would have problems with them renting out. And so until it ends, they don't dare rent them out. So I'm not sure if there's a law, there's a rule, but there's certainly the neighbors are not going to be okay with it, and therefore Airbnbs will not book with you. So here we are. You know, we worked out really well for us, obviously.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so we're very happy. Now, getting on to money. Here in Cambodia, anything over $10 or higher will be done in US dollar transactions. If you go to their bank, if you here at the hotel or any store, restaurant, vendor, anything, if there's change to give, the lowest denomination you will see for US dollars is $10. And there will be no Cambodian reals for anything over $10. There is a 20,000 real note that is worth $5, and then 10,000, which is $2.50, all the way down to what I guess we would consider a penny, but it's 2.5 cents. It's this, 100 reals, which is 2.5 cents. So these are great because they give them out to you, and then you know, you do get a lot of begging and stuff like that going on, or trying to sell you things you don't really want. You can just give them a couple of these or one of these and just say goodbye, and they'll move on because they got something and really isn't hurting you any, and you can help somebody out. So these, the 100s and the 500s are very common. You get them all the time. It's like having a pocket full of change and just giving out change. None of that is all that exciting, other than, yes, it is a little interesting that they only use the US dollar over $10 or 20,000 reals. But what is interesting is that their money can be in any condition of any age, worn, torn, a little bit ripped, however we would normally think is normal in North America when we have a bill that's a little bit torn or there's a bank stamp on it or something. We don't think anything of it. Everybody accepts it. Worst case scenario, your bank will always accept the money and exchange it for you. Well, not so much here. So what I'm about to show you is a bunch of bills that have been rejected here in Cambodia. We have not been able to use them, and no one will take them. And so the money is utterly worthless. Even when I was doing the paid photo shoots on the streets with people that were saying no thank you to the money, I'm like, here, please take it anyway, they still wouldn't take the money because they're like, oh, do you have a different one? This one has a tiny tear on it. And I was quite surprised by that. And but I see it because even when we went to the bank, and which is the head office of their government trusted bank, I guess, where our deposits are held for being in the country, they would not take them either. So for example, this $50 bill just has a bank stamp on it, or a couple bank stamps on it. Perfectly normal in North America. Unacceptable here. This money is worthless. Got to hang on to it, leave this country, find somebody else who'll take it. Let's see, this $50 bill, you can barely make it out, but there is a tiny, 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 tiny little fraction of a tear right there. Worthless. Will not be used in this country. This $20 bill, right, seems all fine. See in the top corner here, there's a tiny little ink stain right there. Will not accept it in this country. This $20 bill from 1994, so just a bit older. Nobody really thinks much of it in the United States or Canada. Not acceptable in this country. This $100 bill, what was wrong with this one? Oh, good question. It's been rejected a couple times by a few people, so I know that there's something about it they don't like. Oh, yeah, there it is. An extremely tiny tear, and I'm hoping it's clear enough, but it's extremely tiny right in there. And they don't take anything but perfect US dollars. Again, the hypocrisy of it is their money can be in any condition whatsoever. So if you're coming here and you're preparing yourself with US dollars, make sure it's perfect. And then also, even when you go to the bank here, if they hand you US dollars, check every bill. Because if you don't look over every bit of the bill and look for the slightest defects, trust me, anybody you try to spend it with will. And you will have problems, because I am sitting here with $240 that no one will take. And I'm just praying that none of my other bills, we've been here a week now, so we're already down on money, but the remaining bills we have seem to be perfect, or as perfect as they need to be in order to, be spent here. But we have to be very, very careful. And if we had known this, we wouldn't allow our Canadian banks to give us this US dollars like this. So if you're watching this and you're thinking of coming to Cambodia, make sure you check your money ahead of time and only bring perfect US dollars. There really is no need to buy any other money here. Everybody has the exact same exchange rate, which is 4,000 reals to $1. You might see somebody who will offer 4,100 or 4,080, but basically it's 4,000 reals for $1, and it hasn't changed since we've been here. And my understanding is that's been the way it's been for some time now. So there you go. There's a little thing on Cambodian money, or US money in Cambodia, and what it's like to be traveling here and spending money. You don't need a lot of money here, as I was saying, about $250 US a month for rent. You could probably get by with about the same for food, if not less, probably significantly less, but I'm just saying if you want to live with a Western type of food, 3 meals a day, hearty meals, that kind of thing, you'd probably spend a couple $100 a month. So you could live here pretty decently for maybe $450 to $500 a month. That includes your cell phone, your internet, everything. It's very reasonable to live here and very low cost, but do keep that in mind for money. See you all again very, very soon.